Ready as we're going to be.
Welcome to Fish North, Georgia's The Livewell. Here's your host, Danny Pruitt.
I love that.
On tonight's 8 o'clock news.
On the 8 o'clock news tonight at Fish North, Georgia. No, anyway. All right, everybody, thank you for watching the Livewell here at Fish North, Georgia. Eventually, some of you guys will show up. And where am I looking at? I'm looking at this. And we changed the cameras around right there. So right there, I got Paulie right there. Hey, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. There's some people right there. So thank you for spending. This is really messing me up looking at a different camera. Thank you for spending some time with us tonight. That's camera one. Look, Paul's giving me directions right there.
Pointing.
I got you. Me and you, baby, right there. Right there, right there. So, again, we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. We got a good episode. Unfortunately, Rob, say his last name. Robleski will not be here tonight. He's a little under the weather. Didn't feel good. So, Ryan and Paul and I are here, and we're going to talk the BFL. We're going to talk about the Noe Outdoors tournament. We're going to talk about the big thing going on, which is the Bassmaster Elites down on Lake Okeechobee and all that. So in the comment section over there, guys, let's get this up and going as we normally do. But we appreciate you joining us tonight. And so let's go ahead and get some business out of the way. We want to thank For Her Outdoor Apparel for being a fine sponsor here on Live. Well, guys, go to forheroutdoor.com. Again, you've seen us with the stuff on, the apparel on and stuff like that. Remind me not to say stuff like that so much. And, it's not just for women. There are a lot of good things for the guys there. But if you got a woman in your life, and hopefully you do, or a daughter, something like that, make sure you go to forheroutdoor.com. Check them out. Look at all the styles. They come out with something every day on Facebook. So if you follow them on Facebook, every day they post a different product, and there's a lot of cool stuff right there. And again, it's not just for women, even though it says for her, but let's support our female sisters in the outdoor fishing world. So definitely want to thank Miss Peyton, Miss Jennifer. And there is a chance, we'll figure it out, that on next Tuesday's live fishing, we might have Miss Peyton with us. We don't know yet, but we're trying to work on that. So definitely want to thank For Her Outdoors.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance. There is a chance. And also, listen, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and click that notification bell. Why are you laughing? Ari? What's up, guys?
Keep going.
I can't yet. Can't drop
Stick to the plan.
Can't drop the bombs yet.
Can't drop the bombs yet.
Listen, I'm a little scattered. It's been a long day right there. Hey, listen, make sure you follow us again on Facebook, on our Facebook group page. Follow us on TikTok. Actually, we got TikTok live going on right now on a little separate camera right there. Don't know if anybody's watching, but maybe
89 people right
89 people. So all 89 people right there on TikTok. Hey, we love you. Thank you for watching. You stay with us. We're going to talk some fish and stuff. Also follow us on Instagram, Twitter. Is there anything else that I'm missing as far as our social media there, guys? Did I nail it?
There you go.
And make sure, hey, listen, if you want some good hands-on one-on-one instructional advice when it comes to fishing, Fish North Georgia's Patreon. Ryan does a lot of good lessons on that. We put our one-on-one podcast, stuff like that. Check it out. Become a subscriber. And we've got some stuff in the works to make that even better in the future. So I think I nailed every bit of that. We also, guys, we went back to Facebook tonight. We wanted to bring some more of you guys back in on Facebook. So welcome you if you're watching on Facebook. There's something I'm supposed to say. If you're in Facebook, I ain't said this in forever. It comes up, Facebook user. Go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Did I hit it? I ain't done that in about 4 months.
That's it.
That's right. So,
you remembered.
There you go. I remember. And put your name in there so that when I look on the comment section right there, it doesn't say Facebook user. So other than that, again, Casey Blanton, Doug Phillips, Ron Swinford, all you guys, Ty Patterson, hey, we appreciate you joining us tonight. We're going to talk bass fishing. It's tournament season. From your electric-only guys to your kayak guys, all the way up to the pros, everything is getting in gear. The weather is getting a little bit better, except here in Georgia. What were we, 74 degrees a day?
Something like that.
Something like that. Extremely warm, and tomorrow it'd be cold as hell. That's about right. So, you got anything to add to the weather before we get going on that, or you going to sit there and stare at your phone?
It's going to be February for the rest of the month.
You're getting juice right now while we're live on the air, aren't you? Aren't you? You're guilty. Yes or no?
Sure.
Yeah, so there you go. But anyway,
Sure.
David Williams, all you guys, what's up, Casey Blanton? Chris Gayton, glad to see you here tonight. Interesting question I seen on Facebook. Will the spot record be broken on Lanier in the next 3 to 5 years? What is the spot record?
8 pounds something, but it ain't going to be in 3 to 5 years. It's going to be quicker than that.
It might be. Now, is that the lake record or the all-time record
No,
for the
it's
state?
lake record.
That's the lake record for the
No,
state?
state records, I think, from Burton.
From Burton. Well, I tell you what, listen, it would not shock me if the Allatoona boys, given that those herring are taking place back over there, they're going to start throwing up some big weights here soon too. So you Allatoona boys, I think the next 3 to 5 years for you guys is going to be a marked improvement over the standard 12-inch tuna spot. You know, we've been watching the weights and stuff like that, the pictures. Hey, it's going up. So I can't wait to see how Allatoona really takes to these bluebacks, and also to see how the fishing changes, because we'll go ahead and start with Noe Outdoors. You know, he's got his expo this weekend.
Yep. Starting tomorrow. 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
$5 entry fee
for tomorrow.
Yep. Or all weekend.
Is it all weekend?
Yeah. Each day is $5. Your ticket gets you a chance to win a Garmin 106 SV with live scope.
Really?
Yes. You get your ticket gets thrown into the drawing.
We might have to go. You think he'll let us win? We might can leave work early and just go out there long enough to get a ticket and just say, hey, put me in the drawing.
I got a long night ahead of me.
State record spotted bass is 8 pounds 2 ounces from Lake Burton. Yeah. So, hey, definitely a possibility, Chris. It would not shock me, because we're seeing 6-pounders and stuff like that a little more regularly.
There we go. $12 on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, all right. $12 on Saturday and Sunday. So there you go. $5 tomorrow, $12 on Saturday and Sunday. But he also has his 2-day tournament going on. I believe it's 50 boats or 50 teams that are going to be in that tomorrow on Lake Allatoona. If I remember last year, and I might not be correct, but I remember the team that won it were going up the river. It was largemouth. Does that ring a bell?
Yes, that was last year.
That was last year. Now that might still be the case.
That jet boat hurt a lot of feelings.
Huh? That jet boat. Oh, that's right. I remember that. But what's going to be interesting is in the next 2 to 3 years, those largemouth might start getting beat like they do on Lanier with a big bag of spots. It is possible.
I don't know.
It is possible.
F1s in there in Allatoona that they're putting in.
Is that what they're putting in?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know. So
they're only F1s one time.
That's right. So Allatoona is in for some big changes. If spots are short-lived fish, so 3-pounders will be common in 3 to 5 years. Hey, listen, that's what I say. Anybody see what Scott Martin did on Bass Live this morning? Actually, I was sitting there watching. It's pretty interesting. What camera am I looking at now? I don't even know where I'm at. I was working this morning, and I hear Ryan's just start going, "Oh my gosh!" And what happened?
Well, he caught about a 6-pounder.
About a 6-pounder
on a jerk bait.
And
there wasn't a lick of wind.
Why is he fishing a jerk bait?
And reports was that he wasn't using live scope.
Do you really need live scope on Okeechobee?
He's got a bunch of videos of him using live scope on Okeechobee.
I mean, the whole damn lake's 8 foot deep.
I mean, they were using it at St. John's River too last year.
I got you. But here's the thing. We're going to get to that elite here in a little bit, and we'll give the top 10 standings now, because even with that, he's still not in first place after day one. But back to the Noe tournament. You know, we know some of the names. We actually had a couple of kids. I say kids, younger than us. Everybody's a kid to me. That were in here today in the store. They're going to fish that tournament tomorrow. And of course, one name keeps getting brought up, and that's O'Barday. But you guys in the comment section, we're not as familiar, of course, with the anglers on Allatoona as we are on Lanier. So
Bar dangerous,
right there. And still, we know who the talent is in that family, and it's not Barday. Even though he's 6'8", you know, we know who runs that show. But Barday's always a favorite. But you Allatoona guys in the comment, make sure you put who you think might win, because it'll be interesting to see how that tournament's going to pan out this year like that. So if you're fishing the Noe Outdoor Tournament, hey, we want to make sure you guys, it's going to be cold Saturday morning. You guys be careful, dress warm. And I hope to see some big bags for Allatoona come out. So you got a favorite over there? I'm going to pick Barday right now. I don't know anybody else.
Is Casey Blanton fishing it?
Casey Blanton might be fishing it. Hey, Casey can do it.
I had to pull up the roster.
I see. Tooney and the Aspen Martin fella have been hammering. So there you go. Well, is that Nick Tooney? Nick Tooney, that would be a good one. So, hey, listen, make sure, throw it out there. How early is the herring spawn on Lake Lanier? We got a question right now. Nowhere near ready for it right now.
Not
so
quite.
What are we going to be looking at?
Yeah, we're going to need water temperatures and a full moon combination in the mid 60s.
Okay, so that's when your herring are going to spawn.
Yeah. Mid to low 60s, full moon.
Full moon.
Yeah.
So what are we talking? Late April? Aprilish, maybe May.
The way the full moon is this year, you won't see it happening in March, where there were some reports, last year that there was some herring spawn going on in some of these lakes in March. You may see some. You may see them trying to do it, but that's just a few weeks away again.
Right.
And right now, water temperatures are still borderline 50.
Right.
We got to have some. Mr. Sun's got to come closer to the earth.
It does.
So,
Facebook user, again, if you don't mind, unless you're just wanting to be anonymous, make sure you go to Facebook.
www.streamyard.com/Facebook. Input your username so we'll know who you are.
That's right. So I don't have to go. But he voted Randy McCoy and Mike Lohner. Mike's been catching some big fish too. I've been seeing his pictures like that. So, well, let's keep on. We got some questions. We'll get to the elites here in a second. Do herring go shallow and row all over the place like shad do when they spawn, Mr. Sheffield?
Yeah, to a certain extent they do. They get pretty shallow. They get as shallow as they can. It's more like rain, like you find a place where they're at and there's rain drops, dimples on the water and stuff like that, and you're like, that's 100% a herring spawn is happening right there. They're actually spawning. They don't really get up on the bank and flip down the bank as close to the cover as close to the bank as they can, like shad do. But
right,
they remember herring. Even when they're spawning, they're like the whole time still.
They are moving.
Yeah.
I tell you, you want to know if the herring spawn is on when all the Sebills are out of stock. What do you think? Yeah, come on. That's how it works. Make sure you keep an eye out on our guys over there on TikTok if they've got any questions right there. So, hey, appreciate the question. 48 to 51 this weekend was the water temps there, Robert. Hey, Rob, I hope you're feeling better. We wished you were here, but better you keep that stuff there where you had than be right here with us. So give me an excuse to miss work tomorrow and make Ryan work all day on Friday by himself. So let's talk about the elite. Anyway, guys, hey, you can keep throwing up the Alatuna, the Noe Outdoor predictions right there. I'm going to go with Barday just because he's bigger than I am and all that. So Miss Heidi with me. Yeah, so we're going to do that. Anyway, let's talk about this. It was mentioned earlier, we're talking Bassmaster Elites, day one on Okeechobee. We talked about Scott Martin, and really, we didn't really follow it so much during the day, but we were kind of surprised that at the end of day one, Scott Martin wasn't in the lead. So I'm going to run down the top 10 and their weights after day one, and then we're going to talk about a little bit about Lake Okeechobee and kind of what we expect from the rest of the tournament. So number one, Bernie Schultz. I have no idea who that is. Do you? Listen, I don't follow.
This is from a guy who doesn't follow tournaments.
I don't follow tournaments.
He's a legend. He's a Florida legend.
Oh, well, no wonder.
He also has one of the largest antique lure collections in the world.
Some useless knowledge that I'm glad I have now, so I appreciate that. Well,
so he's got that going for him.
He has got that going for him. So after day one, he's leading with 28.11 pounds. Scott Martin is in second with 25 pounds and 11 ounces. Tyler Rivet, third, 24.5. Steve Kennedy, 23.8. Drew Cook is in fifth place, 22.12. Brandon Cobb, hey, I've heard that name, 22.9. Will Davis Jr., 21.7. Patrick Walters, 21.5. Cooper Gallant, 21.3. And rounding out the top 10 is Mark Frazier, 21.0. 21.0. So,
21 even.
21 even. 21 even. So, Lake Okeechobee, we've heard a lot of stories about how it fishes. Again, you heard me say it's a very shallow lake. Look at Rob. Everybody's saying he's a legend right there. So, listen, I do the best I can. What do you expect, Ryan, going into this on day two? And again, you guys in the comment section, if you're watching on TikTok, we do this on YouTube at Fish North Georgia. And if you watch it on Fish North Georgia, you can, in the comment section, ask questions and make comments, and we can read them live right there. So make sure you guys you tell us a little bit about what you think is going on. But Ryan, what do you think day two holds in store for the guys down on Lake Okeechobee?
It's probably going to be a little bit similar, the same.
Danny Pruitt is.
I'm not going to say that we're going to see an increase. I wish Rob was here because he could elaborate on a little bit better. You got to remember that just last week they had another 150 boat tournament going on.
They did,
and Okeechobee gets pounded this time of year. But like what Ron said, the thing about Okeechobee now is it nowhere near as much grass as it used to have, and so that's it. It's going to affect some things going into the weekend for sure. We will see. I don't like making predictions on the Elite Series in Florida, saying that I think it's going to go down or it's going to go up. I don't really, because Florida is just, you never know. It's right. Florida.
It is. Every fish could be a 10-pounder.
Yeah, you never. That's where the single day biggest bag ever weighed in Bassmaster history came from. And
how big was that?
49 something.
Single day? That's a single day?
Dean Rojas blew the doors off everybody.
Okay, I got you.
He caught 49. It's the biggest single day bag ever in a single day in a Bassmaster event.
I don't catch 49 pounds in a quarter of the year.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a day there, though.
Yeah.
Now we've got, today in Georgia, it's 70 something degrees. We actually have thunderstorms coming in tonight. And so you guys that are fishing this weekend, especially when we get to the local stuff with the BFL, we're going to have a very big temperature swing. So is Florida, down in South Florida, are they going to get that, or will they have most of the tournament done before that happens?
I haven't paid that much attention to the weather in Florida.
Well, I tell you what, you guys, especially Rob. Okay, Rob set right here, and Rob is from Florida. If you've watched the show, and he is our Florida expert. So
he guided it.
That's where he got it at. So we're gonna lean on his comments. It's setting up to be on fire. It's fishing small. Moving baits will be the determined factor
45.
In winning this event.
And it was in the 40-something.
4502 at Kissimmee.
Yeah.
Well, so we actually had
fishing.
We actually had a customer.
It was a white lizard.
Was it a white lizard?
Yeah.
White lizard.
Yeah.
What was the fellow that come in and we get our plug knockers from?
Anthony Johnson.
Anthony Johnson actually was on Okeechobee last week or the week before. I don't know. You were in there tying jigs, so I don't think you got to see the pictures.
I thought I heard him say headwaters.
He said, he just showed me a picture of a 10-pounder. And the biggest one I caught was a 10-pounder.
Yeah.
He was disappointed with it. And I'm sitting there dude, that's a stud fish right there. But that's down. I remember watching Roland Martin go down there chunking the gold shiners on his TV show under a balloon. So, make sure you follow up there on TikTok so we get stuff like that.
Yes, we can see the comments TikTok.
We can.
I just now noticed that we had a couple comments.
Okay, make sure we get those comments too. So, again, what are your guys' predictions for it right there in the
we will not be at the Noe Expo.
Yeah, the Noe Expo. Let's go ahead and get that. So we're just not set up to do events like Noe and Jimbo's and stuff like that. Last year we did both of them, but we had to tear our entire store down, drag it all the way over there. We had a great time at both, so don't get me wrong. And if you guys went to Jimbo, I heard he had an absolutely fantastic show in coming this year, and Noe, I expect the same over there. So definitely go over there. A lot of great local manufacturers will be there showing their baits off and stuff like that. So, but unfortunately, we're not set up. Maybe next year. We got some stuff we're working on like that. But in the comment section, who do you guys think will come from behind and win? There was a couple of noticeable people that didn't do very well today. You mentioned them earlier when we were looking at the entire playlist on that. Name a couple. Let's name a couple that surprised you. Who surprised you that didn't have a good day?
They didn't surprise me. It's just the notoriety that they get.
Okay, and who is that?
They don't ever do as good as they're always predicted to do.
Okay, and who's that? Come on,
guys like Carl Jacobson.
I can't even do an Australian. Do your Australian voice.
The Australian.
Yeah.
Crikey.
Crocodile Dundee.
Shimano.
That's not a knife.
Yeah, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Off-road edge. Hey, we'll try, buddy. It's going to take us some time to get that, but maybe one day we will get set up to have some stuff like that. KJ Simpson in the comments. Scott Martin gonna win. Now, honestly, come on, Ryan. Give me your in-depth analysis on Scott
Martin. I can tell
Martin.
you this just from past experiences and looking at it. I know who won't be number one tomorrow, and if he is, then I'll eat crow. But I really don't think he will be number one after ending tomorrow, and that's Bernie Schultz.
You think it was just a one-day fluke?
Hey, he's notorious for it.
Okay.
He's so notorious for like, bam, in your face. And then the next day it's like, well, I didn't fish as good. And then it gets worse and worse and worse as the tournament goes on.
We saw, though, we were looking, and what was kind of surprising, we saw a lot of people that are really well known that on Lake Okeechobee had bags of 5 fish for like 6 pounds, stuff like that. So, I mean, it was really kind of like, really, when we were looking down like that. Now, I get it if you're on the Elite and you're a northern guy and you don't fish it that often. Okeechobee probably can be a pretty daunting task.
No, we can't see the comments. We're going back and forth between what we can.
He's talking to the TikTokers over there.
Talking to the TikTokers over here. He's asking questions about Lanier. So we're going to get to Lanier.
They're a demanding bunch.
We're going to get to Lanier.
We are. Scotty Edwards, a 0 from Larry Nixon surprised me. Now, I wonder if there was something more to that or if he just didn't catch fish.
I don't know. There were 2 zeros today. It
is. I think Greg Hackney is going to make a move. Kim Burke said right there. And Neil Scoggins, hey, glad to see you doing that. All of you guys, hey, and we enjoy it every Thursday when we see you guys. And also, you must have been moving, so he finally got his move done to his new place. So I hope everything went well. I moved my daughter last week, and my back's still sore. Getting too old for that crap. One word of advice. If you're going to move into apartments, go first floor. Go first floor. The people toting them couches and them dressers and all that stuff up them stairs, that's no good, especially if you're an old fart like me. So Greg Hackney there. There was another, the guy from the MPFL last year. Was it Sukup? Is that it? Sukup. I expected him to be a little higher. He was one of the guys that I was looking at. I didn't think he would win it or nothing, but I expected him to be a little higher. Anybody else before we get on to the Lanier stuff and talk about the current trends going on in Georgia?
It's Florida. So Poche 0 because he's at the Kissimmee BPT.
Okay, so he wasn't even fishing it. Okay,
yeah.
What's up, Nathan?
Yeah, I just seen he had a 0, and he's a Louisiana guy. But I don't know. It's we'll see tomorrow. Really, tomorrow will dictate what happens the rest of the weekend.
So tomorrow they cut off to 50, right?
After tomorrow.
Tomorrow it's 50, and then the top 10 go Sunday.
Everybody fishes 2 days, guaranteed. No
Everybody,
matter how bad you suck or how bad you do good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you said that. Whether you do good or you say it is what it is, right there.
The way that it is. So
it is absolutely that way. Okay. Well,
but,
you guys can keep in TikTok. If you got a prediction on the Elites, y'all throw it out there, and Ryan he'll look over there every so often.
Poche was at the BPT MLF event.
Okay, there you go. So
we do talk about Chateau. We're going to talk about Chateau tonight too. So just sit tight.
Sit tight.
We are. The gun.
We are. You guys are. Let's go ahead and knock out. Let's go ahead and knock out another one of our fine sponsors while right here. Buford Dam Bait and Tackle. You hear it every single Thursday night right here. Dave and Alan and the guys over at Buford Dam Bait and Tackle are some of the finest people you'll deal with, and their shop is right there on Lake Lanier, whether you're fishing for the stripers, for the bass, or if you're down there in Buford Dam, they got the trout stuff as well. Again, I always say it, they're like us. They'll give you what you need, not what they want to sell you. They're always going to set you up. You guys check them out, 2595 Buford Dam Road, Cumming, Georgia. Give them a call, 706-429-7211. And again, like I said, we thank you for your sponsorship, but guys, we don't want to just say this every week. We want you to go to these places. We want you to go check them out. Tell them the guys at Fish North Georgia sent you. Go in there and do your business with the local places. I know you got your big places like Tackle Warehouse and all that, but support your local tackle shops. That's one of the most important things you can do as an angler. Keep your money local like that, and it will help all of us out, but, especially the guys down at Buford Dam, definitely go check them out right there. So where can I buy some dam bait? I have no idea what that is.
Buford Dam Bait and Tackle.
Buford Dam Bait
I
and
guess,
Tackle.
yeah.
The dam store is gone.
You know what? So. The dam store is gone, burnt down. Absolutely burnt down. But Dave and Alan and the guys, I think Alan's down in Florida, something vacationing right now. But I know Dave and his guys will be there, and they will take care of you. So let's start talking fishing here in North Georgia. I know from the comment section from TikTok, that's what you guys want to know about. There's a big BFL tournament on Lake Lanier this weekend. So probably 149, 150 boats.
Yeah, it's going to be some upset folks this weekend.
Can you imagine the guy got his first day off in about 6 months? He goes, I think I'm going to go to Lanier fish. There's going to be a boat on every point.
No, I'm not really talking about that.
That's
but
what I am.
More along the lines of some of these guys because of the lack of co-anglers. And there's going to be a lot of boat-on-boat draws. There's gonna be some heartbroken people.
So is it in a BFL? Is it just a blind pick?
Well, the computer pairs you up.
The computer does it.
Compares the boaters up with the co-anglers.
Okay.
And if they run out of co-anglers, they start doing boat on boat draw. And one of you is the co-angler and one of you is the boater. And
I see what you're saying.
They basically flip a coin to see whose boat you go in.
So you can show up with your boat as a boater,
and
you might be the
if you're
final
not linked with a co-angler to guarantee that you're going to fish as a boater, and you don't have a link, you get shuffled right to the back, and you get screwed.
Is that really how it is?
Yeah,
but that's because of a lack of
Jonathan got screwed.
Jonathan Farmer.
Yeah, he got screwed last year.
So
not last year, or I guess it was last year. Maybe it was the year before last. But he was a boater. He didn't have a link,
and so he showed up.
And he got picked for boat on boat draw. And they flipped the coin. He said they literally flipped a coin in front of him and called it in the air, and the other guy got the boat.
Oh man, that would be terrible.
So.
That would not be fun right there. Real quick, what do you think is going to go down on Clark's Hill in March? Give me a quick summary on Clark's Hill in March, and then we'll get back on the Lanier. We want to make sure we get that question in.
You'll be a fool not to throw spinnerbait pretty much all day in March.
There you go, pretty much.
Yeah, spinnerbait, chatterbait, floating worm. Yeah, you'd be a fool not.
Okay, so there you go, Levi. You would definitely keep the spinnerbait in your hand.
That's what I
would
do if I was going over there.
No, Farmer commented. No, I had a link and got a boat and boat draw.
Yeah, I knew it was something. I can't remember what it was.
Still, that's
exactly,
tough.
He got boat on boat, and then they picked it. He got shafted to the back of the boat.
Yeah, and so Buddha right there said that they had plenty of time.
Why don't they just let you fish your boat by yourself?
Against the rules, cheating can happen.
You gotta have a partner.
It's an accountability measure.
Yeah, if you go on the Phoenix Boats BFL MLF page or whatever it is on Facebook, you'll see comments all the time when they're talking about how many co-anglers are signed up for a certain event. And then, why don't we just let the boaters go by themselves? No, they won't let you do that. They just won't. That's the way they are.
Okay,
BFL.
I understand that.
That's the way they are.
Hey, it is what it is. They set the rules, right?
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Okay, upstate South Carolina in March is going to be a lot of fun, KJ said. Make sure you give our guys over there on TikTok a look. Make sure we're not missing any of their comments. So let's talk a little bit. We know, so there's going to be 150 boats or 49 or 150 boats in this tournament. Lanier is fishing right now differently depending on where you are on the lake.
It really depends.
So up lake is one thing, but we know a lot of these guys are going to go to the south end. What pattern, and you guys in the comments definitely chime in on this, what pattern, Ryan, do you think is going to win the BFL this weekend?
Well, it's a one-day event, so it's just going to be whoever finds some fish in a ditch or in timber.
What you holding up there, Paulie? Nothing? You got the juice over there behind the thing?
No.
So a one-day event. All right.
It's going to be
cold.
It's going to be the deep fish won't be affected.
The deep fish won't be affected. It's going to be below freezing when they blast off. If I'm not, mistaken.
Right there at it, yeah.
Right at freezing. Yeah. High is going to be what, 40s?
No, it's supposed to get up to nearly 60.
Seriously, just cold in the morning and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
February weather, man.
The February, it is
February.
Definitely. Spring lizards.
The February funk is here.
I got you. That's an interesting question out there. Levi wants to know, why don't they have marshals if boaters don't have code anglers?
Because no one shows up to fish a BFL to be a marshal.
But why don't they have
to fish a BFL to fish?
But if
it's it's $100 entry fee, or for a co-angler, 100 and whatever it is, they change it every freaking year.
But my question is, if they know going in, say on a Friday night, that they've got 140 boats that are paired.
You know what they do on Friday night?
What do they do?
I'm going to tell you, because I've had this happen to me already.
Let's go.
Your phone will ring if you're local to the lake. Your phone will ring by one of your friends who's fishing BFL. Dude, come fish as co-angler. Need co-anglers bad.
Can they show up the morning of?
You show up. Especially if you need co-anglers.
Right.
Show up, pay your entry fee, pay your membership fee, all that jazz. They'll stick you in a boat.
Is that what it is? It 100? Oh, okay, whatever. So there's also Randy Simmons says, Simons or Simmons. I apologize if I said that wrong. I never get any of that right. There's also a couple of striper tournaments going on Lanier Saturday too. So
right.
that's going to be a little bit interesting. But my question is this: if they know the morning of or the night before that they're going to be short, say 10
That's exactly
co-anglers.
what will happen.
10 co-anglers. Why can't they have like 10 to 15 marshals on standby to put in those guys' boats?
It's the Weekend Warrior Series, man. It's
I know
the Weekend Warrior Series. It's everyone that shows up to fish. Everyone that shows up to fish a BFL. You don't go fish a BFL to go sit and watch. You show up to go fish.
But
whether you're a co-angler or a boater.
But I think we could find 10 guys that would just sit there and marshal if they needed it. Don't you think? I mean, I'm being serious. Don't you think? As organized as it's supposed to be.
What's going to happen what's happening with the BFL is all strictly basically related off of live scope.
Oh, that's what's going to win it?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What do you?
The co-anglers don't want to. The co-anglers have stopped wanting to fish.
Gotcha.
So every single tournament in the BFL, every single one, no matter from Alabama to freaking Ohio, it doesn't matter.
I understand.
You're going to see it on that Phoenix Boats page on Facebook. Go join it. You're going to see it. Every single freaking tournament. We need co-anglers. Well, your co-anglers don't want to fish no more. They're starting to get to the point where they don't want to fish anymore. Because like last year, some of the horror stories was we were out here on Lanier in February, and they get a dude buddy in the front of the boat who keeps the nose of the boat pointed wherever the hell the fish are, wherever he's
they're getting back. They're getting backboated.
And it used to be to the point where you can say, well, there's cast everywhere. Yes, you can cast everywhere. You cast wherever you want to, or fan cast anywhere you want to behind that line, but now with live scope, some of these guys just sit out there in 80 feet of water looking up into 50 or so. And this is just for example. I mean, my numbers might be exaggerated, but I'm just saying this is an example. And they put you in the ass end back there where you don't even stand a snowball's chance in hell of even throwing it anytime.
I got what you're saying.
Because they keep, where it used to be maybe you're, damn. It used to be like this, right, where you're going to pull up to a spot and you got a spot just like this right here, and there's a point coming off of it. The boater may come in just like this, and he may fish like this, but that don't mean that you can't throw over here.
They at least had a chance.
They at least have a chance to keep your line in the water. Now they sit here and do this, and then the fish go woo, and they go woo, woo, and they turn the boat, point the boat every damn way, every damn direction they can point it to, and it screws you.
See if we got any comments. It looks like I got some laughy faces or something over there. You guys got to get used to Ryan's.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's saying here on TikTok. Yeah, I mean it's $200 for whatever it is, and no marshals in the BFL because like what I was saying, it's not that big of a deal. It's the Weekend Warrior Series.
I got you. But
if you want to fish a tournament series that's similar to that right there, you need to fish the freaking Skeeter. Okay. Or go fish berries or something with a partner.
I got you.
With a high entry fee like that.
Did you see Derek O's comment? He goes, I'd sign up just to fill a coat slot and drag a shaky head all day if it weren't $200.
Right.
If it weren't
they changed the dang entry fees like every year.
What was it last year?
I don't keep up with it.
Well, I don't either until it comes to Lanier, and then we kind of have to cover it like that.
I have zero desire to fish BFL.
Let's pull up Ron Swinford's comment right there, if you don't mind there, Paul. The live scope fisherman, plus the cost going up, $90 to join MLF is less than another $110, per co-angler like that. So I see it. Let's see, a lot of weekend warriors that don't go to work these days. Hey, listen, it's like that. But
I have people that beg me to fish BFLs and stuff because they beg me to do it because I've fished with a handful of people. I give you green water.
You do. I give you that.
I give you green water. You got opportunity, just as good of opportunity to catch fish behind me.
You do that.
I mean, there's certain times of the year where good luck behind me, but there's not really many BFLs going on when my bite is crazy.
Right. It comes a little early for you. Or earlier than when
BFLs, when my bike gets really, really going, that's the lull period where they don't really have many BFLs going on.
Pull up that comment right there. Let's read Off-Road Edge. Showing my age, but back in the day, you had to be a co-angler for 3 tourneys just to join the local bass club and fish. Now everybody wants to be the next Van Dam.
That is true.
And we can bring up Van Dam.
Slots open these days.
We were going to talk about Van Dam.
We were going to talk about Van Dam, and we'll go ahead and good diagram, Ryan. I like that Doug Phillips said right there. Well, what do you think though is going to play as far as the winter?
We need to do that.
What's that?
Y'all got your lake there in front of you. We need to get one of those little toy boats.
Toy boats right there. We need some toys right there.
Whenever we want to illustrate something.
Yeah.
A little action figure.
I think it would be fantastic. A couple rubber duckies and all that, with a couple Barbie dolls, bikinis sitting over there on the beach. And we can do it all. We can do every bit of that. Perfect. I love it like that. I would fish in an ABA with Ryan and have no issue at all, but ABA and BLF have the same issue. So I guess we can just sit here and say, so the real problem you think though is not only cost, we hear about the cost, but is the live scope guys that are really just not giving other guys an opportunity.
I have a live scope now. I use it now. Like Tuesday, like when we went live fishing Tuesday, I went out. As I told Danny, I could have went out Tuesday and I could have caught some fish doing other things, but that wasn't the intention of what I was doing Tuesday. We caught fish pretty good on a crankbait Saturday, so I wanted to go back Tuesday and see if I couldn't duplicate it. I only caught 2 fish.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine with me. That told me at the end of that day, some people may look at that as a failure, but that told me, okay, well, that bite is over. Let's wait a little while longer until it starts happening again.
Same thing happened to us. I went fishing last Tuesday with Kevin Underwood with Lip Sticker Fishing. We slayed them. I say slay for me. We slayed them on a swim bait. Tried to duplicate that for us and couldn't do it.
Get me one. This is Kevin Van Dam on there with the
Bass Pro has a little nitro toy kit. We're going to do that. Give us a diagram of hitting a wake boat, waves running 80 in a Phoenix. Well, listen. Honestly, though,
slow down.
Hey, slow down. But them Phoenixes aren't quite that bad. They're not as bad as others. They're not as bad as others running about 80 like that.
Trim down, hit it, get it.
What really, in all seriousness, and again, guys, Steve Pinkston, look at this comment. This has been happening long before live scope. So basically,
Steve fishes BFLs like every year for a long time.
Right.
He's fished them for quite a while.
Okay, well, let's do.
Steve would be a good live scope fisherman to fish with. He likes to use his graphs. He likes to turn on his live scope every now and again and utilize it.
Right.
But I fished with Steve out of the back of his boat a couple of times. He gives you the opportunity to catch some fish. The biggest comment that I've ever had with Steve is me and Steve were talking in the boat last year, and he was like, I got some kind of run. Let me get my Steve Pinkston on. I've got some kind of run going on where I've got like 12 straight tournaments where my co-angler has caught a limit.
You make him sound a little soft. Eat my nuts. Yeah, for those of you that aren't aware, Steve Pinkston has some of the
Sugar Hill Nut Company. His pecans are awesome.
Some of the tastiest nuts.
Delicious.
He has new pecans out.
Oh, I haven't
got some.
Are they good?
Oh, yes. I sent him a picture with a selfie with the guy that was working for him.
Yeah.
And I think I scared the living piss out of Steve's partner that was up there at Bass Pro Shop. So he said, Steve's at the flea market. And I said, oh. So I pulled my phone out and with the nuts and I took a selfie and sent it to Steve. I said, I'm supporting you.
But I'm gonna say something in Steve's defense. You made him kind of sound a little bit feminine right there.
Sorry, Steve.
You did your best. I think that's what his comment is.
Sorry,
right there.
Steve.
Pull up Adam W. Fishing right there. Let's look at this comment right here. I've been a marshal in some Elite Series events. Rode with Drew Cook, Chad. I ain't even gonna try to.
Chad Morgenthaler.
There you go, etc. It was awesome. I would marshal in a BFL if it was free. Well, hell, I hope it would be free if you got a marshal in a BFL. I mean, seriously, I would hope so. But again, that's just me, and I don't fish them. But I would just think if the organization was as good as they want to be, another satisfied customer, Steve says. I would think, honestly, though, that they should have something lined up like that. But let's go. What's your predictions? Who do you think of all? I think it's going to be a local guy that's going to win.
Yeah, it'd be a local guy.
Let's throw out a few local names you think will be good.
Clay Moss is on them.
He is on them.
He's on them.
He fishes with Barnes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know he whipped us Saturday.
Oh, he whipped us Saturday.
20-plus pound bag.
21
pound bag. Hey, listen, I've been wanting to say this. I felt so bad. And was he fishing with Barnes when they had like 23?
Yeah.
When you were on Lake Lanier and you pull up with 23 pounds of spotted bass, you got to feel pretty confident.
Pay attention, TikTok.
Um,
Pay attention, TikTok.
Okay, me or
no,
what?
TikTok.
TikTok. pull up with 23 something of spotted bass, you ought to feel pretty darn confident.
I would feel like I won the damn thing.
Listen, I'd be walking on the water.
I'd be like
so
Dane
happy.
Hunter walking up and you follow.
That's
like,
right.
Long dong, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I don't even make the money and don't even win big fish.
Right.
At 28 pounds.
23.84, and they lose because somebody else brings in 23.87.
Mm-hmm. Reed Daniel.
Now that, guys, especially on TikTok, if you're not familiar with Lake Lanier, it is one of the finest spotted bass fisheries in the entire United States, if not probably the Southeast. It might be, I think it might be the best in the whole nation. But
you California guys will come out here.
California guys, listen, you guys stick salmon and stuff in there for them things to eat, but you can't go nowhere around here and
salmon fingerlings.
Salmon fingerlings and those Kyoki trout or whatever the hell it is like that.
Kokanees.
Huh?
Kokanees
right there. All right.
Coke's a salmon.
I'm a shiner guy, so but still, I would walk all the way up to that. Like, I got it. I mean, I'd walk to the way in naked. I'd be so confident and all that. And then all of a sudden, boom, somebody beats you with 23.87. That's got to be a kick in the gut. And I Scott Barnes and Clay and all that, it's awesome. But I do think Clay Moss is a good one. Is Paul
What's up,
and them,
Justin? How's it going?
Is Paul and them fishing that? You know, your Marks boys and all that, are they fishing it?
I know Emil's on Gunnersville.
Okay, so Emil's not going to be there. So
right.
that
Emil's got bigger. I think Emil's going to fish some BFLs. I think he's got bigger plans this year,
right?
Than fishing.
That must be my wife right there. Facebook users.
No, I know who that is.
Who is that?
I can't say.
I said
it's
naked.
Richard Slanger.
I said I'd pull up naked, and I got them bar faces right there, so I figured it was my wife. But still, that's a heck of a bag right there. And Clay then turned around and followed it up the next Saturday at East Hall with 21 pounds. So he's definitely got to be in the running if his bite stays like that.
Yeah, he rolled up, and I go, "You got him today again?" He said, we didn't catch him as good as we did last weekend." And I was like, whatever, Clay.
Right.
I was like, whatever, dude. Didn't catch him as good as we did last week. 21 pounds. And it's like,
all right, right there's two names right there that popped up. In the Alex Prince is a boater. He's stout on Lanier, and Harold Grizzle always as a non-boater. Harold Grizzle could fish in a creek and somehow come out with 17, 18 pounds every single time. Ty Overmeyer will be on the podium. Oh, there you go. Getting the names coming out. Now,
you better get your ditch fishing in while you can.
Why you say
That's all
that?
I'm going to say.
It's about over?
It's about over.
It's about over.
It's about to be over. There are fish moving. They're moving to start staging.
Well, that goes to Saturday.
Yeah.
Now, honestly,
they're moving to stage.
Just about everybody that I talked to.
Saturday was a
caught
slight
fish.
Anomaly.
Where'd they catch it?
Shallow.
Yeah. And what was the temperature like Saturday?
It got colder as the day went on.
It got windy. It was cold. It was nasty.
As I looked at Bronson at 11 o'clock, I said, damn, it's getting colder as the day goes on.
It is.
I was like, I'm going to put my jacket back on. We blasted off, and all I had on was my bibs and my regular jacket, my hoodie.
Right.
And I was like, this is fine.
Yeah.
11 o'clock, I was like,
that wind was blowing 20-something miles an hour at the end of the day, and Lanier got churned up.
That wind, they're biting.
They were, but spotted bass like nasty weather. They do in every place except for where we were fishing. 52 today on Allatoona. I assume he's talking water temperature right there. Again, if you're a Facebook user, Paul?
www.streamyard.com/Facebook.
Hey, put it in there so we know your name. You guys quit
that's
being.
what it is. Whenever I sent Clint Pigler Allen the wrong, I said /fish North Georgia. My bad.
There you go. But that way we want to know who you are. Unless you just, again, if you want to stay anonymous, you guys do it. It's okay. But we like to know who we're talking to. I can tell you this.
It will be. That's what I agree 100%.
What is that?
Atlanta's best 37 said, I still think the BFL will be one out deep in the timber. It will be one. I guarantee you it will be one out deep.
So we're talking guys throwing 40, 50 foot deep.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Now, they're going to be pulling them swim baits and stuff like that through that, or they're going to be jigging spoons. What are they going to be doing? What's your best guess?
Contact underspin stuff.
Now, will it be cloudy or sunny Saturday?
It's supposed to be sunny.
Sunny. Okay. I didn't know how that was. Somebody, that's Dane. Dane's over there like that. So how you doing, Dane?
Steve. My apologies, Steve wasn't his partner. Steve's like, "Oh, isn't my partner? He's an employee of mine."
Oh.
Sorry, Steve.
Okay, all right, there you go. Levi Gardner, are y'all big into Sebills? I've always wanted to catch them. With the comment on it, but my gear isn't ready to handle big swim baits. I'll say this: I don't throw my Sebill. I don't throw my Sebill on anything special.
Get you a 7 foot. Get you a 7 foot medium heavy rod that has a good little tip to it that'll absorb a bite when they come out of nowhere to get it.
Yeah, you get that little flex. That's not all you need.
I mean, I throw mine on 15-pound fluorocarbon, 7 3-to-1, anywhere all the way up to 8 1-to-1 or higher if you want to. Don't drop below 7 3-to-1. It's pretty simple bait to throw. You throw it and reel it back.
It is.
Yeah, now what size Sebill is that?
Right?
125.
125. That's the only one you need.
Throw the 90s. I throw the 90s too. The little bitty ones. That weigh 3/8 of an ounce. So the 125s weigh 3/4 of an ounce. Just change your hardware out on them. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, definitely. What do we do with every Sebill we buy?
That I throw.
Yep. What do you do?
A tail feather hook on the back of them.
Add the tail feather hook.
Yeah. And I pretty much always upgrade my hooks.
Yeah.
I've got 2 versions that I keep in my boat. I've got one that I want close to the surface, and I got one that gets down deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And the one to get it down deeper has some edits done to it.
Right. But it does have a tail feather on it?
They always
do. Every time somebody comes in the store and buys
I love those Berkeley Fusion feather treble hooks, the ones with green chartreuse and white, because it just looks herringy.
That's a new word. It is tonight. Guy B said, I was catching them off boat docks today cranking. See, that's the crazy thing about Lanier is it's like you really can fish to your strengths anywhere on the lake, depending on what you want to do. Don't you think? It's one of the lakes that will do that. If you like throwing crankbaits, there's a place on Lanier somewhere they're going to be biting a crankbait. Don't you think?
This time of year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean,
it's all about finding them. But that's February fishing on Lanier, and that's February fishing on herring lakes too. Because there could be something going on at some point in the lake, multiple different locations where it's less than 5 feet of water and it's going crazy.
Right.
But then somewhere else, you've got exactly what's going on that happens in the summertime where you're like, oh my God, they're schooling. But it's instead of happening on the surface, it's happening 20 feet below the surface over timber.
I understand.
But it's going the same thing. If you can get a bait in there and you can see them now on live scope when it's happening, dude, you throw it and reel it through them and something is going to bite.
Makes sense. Levi Gardner wants to know if we're throwing the brand name Sebill, if we're throwing Mr. LJ's Hard Swimmer. Actually, the ones that I throw,
Sebill is gone.
The brand Sebill's gone. It is now the Magic Swimmer with Berkeley. Basically, the one that I throw, and I know you have one too. We have the brand name Sebill, but we took it to Daniel Truitt and got a custom paint job. And guys, anytime you have the opportunity to let Daniel Truitt paint one of your baits, I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
He's got a couple of herring patterns. I've got them on a Sebill and on a jerk bait. Fantastic. This is not saying anything about LJ's Swimmer. He's got 4 custom colors, and it's the old style Sebill. But I had those. I gave them to Ryan. Ryan took them to Daniel Truitt, and he painted them. So that's what I thought. But here's one thing: you're talking about herring. When I was out with Kevin the other day, the herring were glued to the bottom. I mean, they were glued to the bottom. Do you expect that to be the same this weekend? And question number 2 on top of that is, when do the herring move up? When do they start coming up in the water column?
Like right now?
Like anytime. Like what time of the year do they start moving up? They're glued to the bottom, what we saw.
When they decide to move up, and then just the spots chase them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is what like when they go to spawn, like right now they're glued to the bottom. What time of the year do herring kind of get a little bit up in the water column?
I mean, that's happening now.
Okay.
That's a really generic question.
It is.
So you've got herring that are going to stay out there deep, and they're going to stay glued to the bottom.
Okay.
You've got herring that for the first 2 hours of the morning, they're going to be in the ass end back of these creeks.
Okay.
And they're going to be less than 5 feet of water in the spots, and the stripers are going to be ravishing on them. You got to find that magic area. Those areas are hard to come by. When you find them, it's game on. You make 5 casts and catch.
Look at that comment right there. Herring do whatever they want.
Herring do whatever they want. That's
so they're exactly not. So it's hard to pattern them.
Yeah.
Until they get to the shad spawn.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
That's
pretty much.
okay. Because I didn't know. I really didn't know. I just know that we were looking at his stuff. And he goes, there's a ball of herring in there right on the bottom. We'd go to another place. There's a ball of herring right on the bottom. And he could tell with his live scope the difference between herring and I guess your threadfin, stuff like that. So hit Ron's comment right there. I wonder if someone will get on any early morning jerkbait bite in the back of a pocket and catch enough in 45 minutes to hold on all day to win the BFL. Do you think the jerkbait bite will come into play?
Me and Kevin Underwood was talking about the jerkbait bite. You know, I caught two, not last weekend, the weekend before last, on a jerkbait. I threw some jerkbait Tuesday, and I seen a few on LiveScope, and they ran from it. Just gone. And they wasn't even interested. Like scared them to death. It's like Aunt Sally coming to give you a kiss.
I understand.
Coming over to visit during summer.
I understand.
You know, I don't know. It just the jerkbait bite is just the jerkbait bite just ain't as good as it used to be. And I don't know if it has anything to do with LiveScope or what, but it's just not as good. This time of year and previous years before, not really last year, but year prior to last year,
right?
A jerkbait was something this time of year throughout the entire month of February into March that you could just go pick a rocky point, whether it was a shallow rocky point or a deep rocky point, and you can catch fish.
Yeah.
And it's non-existent. I say it's non-existent, but it's hard to find now.
Well, so
it's really hard to find.
We have a couple comments, but one is he tried the jerkbait today and did not catch anything. And I wondered the same thing. Kevin and I fished last week, and on his live scope, when he would throw a jerkbait, they would run away from it. So here's a good question, and some of you guys might know the answer. Let's go to Danny Hogshead. Danny, always glad to see you right there, buddy. Hope you and your wife are doing well. Okay, Ryan, where do brim go in the winter? Brush.
Yeah.
How deep?
Wherever they feel like it.
So if I'm going tomorrow and I want to drop a cricket.
Drop a cricket in the brush pile and see what happens.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
It's
so when did the brim move up?
Yeah, around the time the water temperature gets into the upper 60s, you start pulling up. They know what's about to happen. They know what's coming. And
that's when your time of the year really starts to shine.
When my time of the year starts happening.
So your bite mostly for you, and you've said it before, it's dictated on the brim. That is your time of year.
It's dictated on the brim.
Okay, there you go. TikTok guys, we appreciate you guys still standing there, and we'll try to check them comments as we go. So yeah, when did the brim cometh? Pull up Levi's right there. He's got some great questions tonight. When does the thermocline usually flip on Lanier for the spring? I know in my neck of the woods on West Point, hey, West Point, I love that. I used to live down there. It will flip anywhere from super late February to mid-March or so. Man. So when does the flip happen?
When you get a successful run of days of really warm weather, it really kind of starts hitting off. It starts happening. That's when you just like anything where everybody says, where everybody says, oh, they're pulled up shallow finally. Yeah, that's typically indicative of when things start changing, when the surface temperature of the water starts warming up a lot faster. And
okay, then you get that flip.
Right.
When you get that flip. So that it makes great sense. Ever tight line on Lanier? How about this?
No.
Explain tight lining.
That's a Tennessee technique that you throw a bait out there on a jig head with a Kitech or something, a swimmer of some sort on it, and you basically keep your line tight, and you you either drag it or you barely reel it. It's really slow. It works really well on steep rocky banks.
Okay, but not something common up here.
I mean,
it sounds like it would work. Or could work.
We kind of do a version of that now.
And what is that?
Throwing Kitech.
Just throwing the Kitech.
That guppy head and stuff like that.
Throwing the guppy head and keeping it on the bottom.
And just reeling it real slow.
Okay, so very similar.
Yeah, it's similar.
Very similar.
It's
let's jump on a couple of sponsors while we got a chance. Red Bobber Company. Let's pull them up right there. Guys, Red Bobber gear right there. You guys know it. You see it. Everybody's fished with one in their lifetime. The Red Bobber, it's iconic. And what Red Bobber gear has done is they have taken that iconic symbol and they put it on apparel, all right, from children all the way up to adults, hats, T-shirts, sweatshirts, everything, you name it. It's part of our memory, and it's a great way to kind of show your support for the fishing community and to kind of stir up those memories. Everybody went with their grandfather or their father back in the day throwing crickets and stuff under a red bobber. If you really want to support it, you want to show where you come from, go check out redbobbergear.com right there and look at their apparel line and support those guys. Again, that's another local company out of Canton, Georgia. And while I'm at it, if you're in the real estate market, our friend Rachel Collins. Now, we're going to have to change that. I think her dad said, not her dad. Her husband told us there's been a little change with the company and all that. But again, go ahead and keep Rachel in your thoughts when it comes to that. 770-310-0599. I think the name of the company has changed. But Rachel is still doing real estate. She's local. She's out there. She's back. She's mended up, and she's back on the prowl out there trying to seal all these deals. So if you're going to buy or sell real estate, you want to hit Rachel Collins up. Again, she's one of us. She likes to fish. She finally got back out on the boat this weekend, so we're so glad to see her back out there. 770-310-0599 for all your real estate needs. And so let's get back on it. Let's talk a little bit more about Lanier. How many guys do you think will be running north? Now, you said you think it's going to be one on the brush. Huh?
The Oconee and Sinclair guys will be up north.
Every guy that is from South Georgia.
The guy on the South Georgia boys will be up there in Wahoo, Little River.
I got you. Well, hey, she's a fisher
Chip
woman.
Carter
That's
probably
right.
up there. He'll be up above Clark's Bridge.
Okay, well,
but that's their game.
Can
them fish go deep on Oconee for these fish this time of year. Deep is like, we're catching pretty deep. We're like in 10 foot of water.
10 foot of water on that. We actually, there's some guys that are going down to fish on some of the kayak guys. I know George Smith was up here. He's going down there to do some pre-fishing right there. But let me ask you this. Do you think that this tournament can be won by a guy going north?
There is a possibility, mainly because the population of the largemouth has rebounded so freaking well.
Right. I got you.
It's going to be hard, though, because they're just not. They're there. They're coming. You're going to see some big largemouth weighed in Saturday. You will see some big largemouth weighed in Saturday. Will you see a bag of them? It ain't ready yet. It ain't ready yet.
Just not that time.
It's just not ready yet.
But somebody could pull it off.
It's not impossible by no stretch of the imagination.
But the odds are south end.
But God, man, them spots are just they're so much fatter. They weigh more.
Down south.
You know, I mean, we're not going to talk about largemouth packing on some serious weight here until March.
So the spots have got that jump on them right there. Okay, that makes sense. Facebook user wants to know, does anyone like a floating fly on Lanier? I have never heard of anybody.
I know some people that do it. I'm not going to utter their names because if I did, they'll strangle me.
Right, but so you do know a few that do it.
Yes.
Okay, and for those that might not know what a floating fly is, explain it.
I can't really.
I can't either. That's right.
Because I mean, you got to hear. Let's get technical with our fellow film mates.
Right.
You got your rod and you got your strike indicator.
Yeah,
That's what we're going to use.
It's a bobber,
we're
bro.
going to call it a bobber.
Okay, so you got your bobber, and then below your bobber, you have some line that comes down from that bobber, and then you got your fly.
Yeah.
And
they make
you just
special
throw it out
equipment.
there and basically like
watch the bobber. It's like glorified brim fishing.
Yeah, essentially.
The only
difference is when you set the hook, it's a bass.
Yeah. What you got, Paul?
Now that I think about it, it's a little bit like the Demiki rig game.
It kind of is.
Where you're suspending that small bait kind of over their head and they rise up.
They do, and you let the waves and all that basically
provide the action.
Make the fly
the
undulate.
Motion of the ocean.
Motion of the ocean. Kip Carter has won Lanier before on this time of year. So that's always a possibility. Jimbo always catches largemouth in February. Look back at his archives. Hey, I'm not saying it's not impossible. Some of the pot tournaments on Carter's have banned the floating fly. It works well there. Now, let me ask you, why would you ban it? Is it because it's on a float? Is it because the float's involved? The guy in the shop today was talking about throwing it on a 12-foot rod.
That's part of it. Most all your tournament rules, even like in club tournament level stuff, you can't use over 8-foot rod.
Really?
Yeah.
In your club, is that a rule?
Yeah, it's in my rules.
That is in your rules.
You can't use 8-foot rod.
Over 8-foot rod's illegal. So if you're going to throw a floating fly in the Chestatee Bassmasters, You've got to. I had to throw it out there like that. You got to do it on 7-Eleven.
Yeah,
That's it.
something.
Okay, I tell you what.
8 foot. It'd be 8 foot.
It can be 8 foot,
Yeah,
but not
can't go over it.
Can't go over 8 foot. That's interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. Doug Phillips would like you to use your phone to demonstrate the float and fly.
Well, you throw it out there and it sits in the water, and the indicator sits up just like this.
Bobber,
whatever the heck you want to call it.
This isn't a trout episode.
And it sits there like this, and then when one grabs it and swims by and grabs that fly, it goes, and then that means it's time to set the hook, start reeling.
Okay.
If you set the hook on a float and fly, I think most of the people that I know that do it, they say it's more of a start reeling.
Okay. Rocky Stokes, and we've had a couple people comment about Chatuge tonight. I think some of the TikTokers over there said that. What about Lake Chatuge? I feel like that's a great lake that gets left out, and probably so because it is right on top of the border, and it's kind of like Hartwell. We know it's a great lake; it's near us, but we don't get a lot of really views from that area. So we'll work on that. You guys can help us, but I can tell you, Kaz Anderson makes a living up there. He does well on Chatuge.
He does,
and it has both spots and largemouth.
Mm-hmm. It's got some big largemouth.
Got some big largemouth.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it fishes like Lanier. Is that true?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay,
a little bit.
Well, what are the differences between Chatuge and Lake Lanier?
They seemed on Chatuge. They seemed to kind of like do their thing, start doing their thing a little earlier for some reason. I don't know if it's because of pressure or not.
You talk about start staging and moving up.
Yeah, that lake don't get its. That lake sees nowhere near the amount of pressure that lakes like Allatoona and Lanier and Hartwell and stuff do.
But it's a much smaller lake.
Mm-hmm.
How big is Chatuge?
I have no earthly idea.
Okay, so
it's tiny.
If you're in the comment section, let us know. Demiki Vault, is that what it says? Does that say Vault?
Yeah, Demiki Vault
has been wrecking on Chatuge. So there you go, right there. Let's see what else. I like how small Chatuge is. I feel like I can run the whole lake in 15 minutes. So that's kind of similar to Blue Ridge, Carter's, that size lake, or is it a little bit bigger? Notley.
Yeah, they're all roughly the same size.
Is that a TVA lake?
Yes.
It is a TVA lake. Is it 7,800 acres, Danny said right there. So yeah, let's talk about Chatuge next week because you've got a tournament there.
I will be there this weekend.
So he can't drop too much on Chatuge tonight for reasons obviously just stated right there. But it is the people that know how to fish Chatuge, kind of like the people that know how to fish Notley, like Blue, they're successful there. They do very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to ask you what you're going to throw because you're not going to tell us anyway like that. So let me get my last sponsor in for the night right there, Paul. Let's pull up J&S Construction right there. Jason Sayers, will he be there on the BFL or what is he fishing? He's fishing Toyota?
Yeah, I think he was fishing Toyota Series.
Okay, but anyway, Jason Sayers with J&S Construction for all your needs from remodeling, stuff like that. I started to say stuff like that for remodeling. All he also owns Elite Landscape and Pressure Wash. So whether you need an addition put on your house, you need shed, anything, rooms, additions like that, total remodel. He probably does new construction as well.
He does.
Or you just need it cleaned. All right, or you need your landscaping taken care of.
Need your landscaping.
Call Jason Sayers. He services the Lake Okeechobee area, out I-20 right there. So you can give him a call at 706-816-2049, or you can email him. Pull that second one back up if you don't mind. I was going to read jsayers316 at live.com. So reach out, tell them the guys at Fish North Georgia sent you. And if you got any work done, hey, let's support one of our locals right there and let's get them some stuff like that.
Tax return time.
It is tax return time. If you ain't gonna spend it with us, spend it with Jason or any of our fine sponsors like that. So absolutely. So we can't really talk too much about Chatuge for, again, obvious reasons. So we're going to jump back on Lanier right there because I see it in the comments. There's a lot of guys that are going to be fishing. Is it the ABA? Mm-hmm. The ABA 125?
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be on Chatuge this week. So, again, are you fishing the ABA tournament Saturday?
Yes.
Yes, he will
be there.
He will be there right there. So, and the weather, how will the weather let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question, since I can't really get specifics on Chatuge. How does the weather affect a smaller impoundment like Chatuge, Blue Ridge, those kind of lakes, as opposed to a larger one like Lanier or even Allatoona?
cold up there on that lake doesn't affect it as bad because those fish are already used to being a lot colder. Because it's farther. The freaking lake is in between a bunch of mountains.
It is.
Right
It is. My daughter went to Young Harris. I know where it's at.
It's typically, but because it's small, what's going on right now, but today and potentially what might happen tomorrow, rain. Well, rain, and then it's going to be like 24 degrees Saturday morning and blast off. By 10 o'clock, it's supposed to be like 45, and by the end of the tournament, it's supposed to be dang near 60 up on Chateau.
What's the water temp up there right now? What do you think it might be? What's your guess?
I was told it's close to 52.
52, but that's not too far off from what Lanier is.
No, some areas in Lanier, you'll see 50, 51.
Right.
Some areas you'll see 49.
Okay. So Danny Hogshead said it's the highest elevation lake in Georgia, and it is. Felicia Arnold is so beautiful up there. Now that is absolutely true.
Coming from a $5 farmer.
And farmer, he's coming for his $5. Well, why are you coming for your $5? You want to explain? What's the $5?
It's a running bet between me and farmer. And
so $5
against each other. It's whoever catches the best five.
Okay.
Gets to keep the $5.
Okay, I got you.
We got it wrote on there on a piece of paper. Or we got it wrote on the $5 bill. Can't spend it.
All right. Well, there you go. Go get your $5. Let's pull up Levi's comment right there. Another good question for him. Man, you're late. You're laying them on. Are you fishing up here this weekend? Because you're asking a lot of great questions. So, do y'all throw a Ned rig for those bigger spots on Lanier? That's a bait that I have a little too much. That I have a little too much confidence in. I feel like I can catch 15 to 16 pounds of spots every time I throw it. I throw the Ned rig a lot, and to me, it's hit or miss.
You throw the Ned rig in my back.
When I'm not throwing the Ned rig in Ryan's back, I throw it a lot in the water. I did hit you one time, and you're not going to let it go.
No.
You're not.
I'm not going to let that go. I'm not going to let you breaking your rod on the phone holder either, on the other side.
It happens. It happens like that.
I'm not going to ever let your hook set go either.
What hook set?
Your hook sets.
What's wrong with my hook set?
Every time you set the hook.
Oh, I grunt. Okay.
I'm grunts on every single
I do
one
grunt.
of them.
You know what that's from? That's from beer league softball. That is from 20 years of playing beer league softball. If you're 5'7" and you want to hit it out a little bit, you got to grunt a little bit.
Yes, farmer.
You got to grunt. But back to the Ned rig, I will tell you this. I caught more fish last year going up to a shaky head on Lanier than I did a Ned rig. But I love throwing a wacky and I love throwing a Ned. It does work, and yet it is one of those things that you do feel confident, especially when the spots are moving up to be on bed. You can absolutely whack some of that, and you can catch some decent size.
That's not true.
What's that?
Most of the lake is in North Carolina. Most of the fish are in Georgia.
Well, it might be. There you go. Are y'all using super light heads? Right there, super light heads like Ned does, or the bigger shroom heads. On Lanier, sometimes I'll go with the quarter if I want to get really deep, but I actually like the super light ones. Now you don't throw the Ned.
I don't throw Ned.
You don't throw.
I make them, but I don't throw them.
I
won't throw them.
So we have the quarter. What's the size? The two sizes down.
Quarter, 3/16,
5/30
seconds,
5/30 seconds,
and 3/30 seconds.
5/30 seconds is generally where I like to go. And again, I throw.
3/30 seconds, pretty good.
I like the weedless version just because
I never need to get it down more than about 5 feet.
That's true.
Well, I tell you what, I did.
You throw it and count to 5, and it's at the bottom.
I'm not like though they do out in Missouri or the Midwest where they just throw that thing deep. Sometimes I'm not like that
all the time.
All the time. I throw it shallow, and I throw it shallow year round. When I do throw it, some days you can't not get bit on it. And other days, I don't know what it is. It's like anything else. But I can see you being confident with throwing it because they bite it. So, but I will say this. I've had more success on Lanier recently with colors that had a little more blue in it than the standard green pumpkin. If I go to Lake Allatoona, if I go to Lake Allatoona, I'm throwing green pumpkin. That's just it. It works there. It works on Lanier.
Works everywhere.
But the bigger spots that I have caught on Lanier came on a color that had a little blue in it. So that's just me. I don't know. I'm not that great at it, but it is I think everybody should learn how to throw it when it gets tough. I'll skip docks with it. Well, Levi, that's where I actually hit
bow fishing. That sounds exciting.
Hit him bow fishing.
Yeah, we got a comment in the TikTok from a guy said I would love to do a podcast about bow fishing.
Well, I tell you what,
Mr. and co-op probably.
Well, hey, listen, Go to Facebook and look up Danny Pruitt.
That's GRM Bow Fishing.
Yeah, hit Danny Pruitt.
Call us.
And message me directly. We'll get it set up. We can do that. We need some variety. I've never talked about bow fishing. Have you ever been bow fishing?
Hell yeah.
Okay, how'd you like it?
That's fun.
But you don't deer hunt.
No.
But you like shoot fish.
Yeah. Well, most of the time those fish, like a gar, when you're done with them, they'll swim away.
With bow fishing?
Yeah.
A
gar.
gar.
Hit them in the skull.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. All right. Well,
you know what a gar is, don't you?
I know what a gar is.
Armor-plated freaking turtle.
But you're still sticking an arrow through them.
It don't go as deep as you think it does.
If you shoot a man's bow, it does.
It doesn't. What? It don't go.
Well, you shoot 20 pounds. You got to put 20-pound drawback on it.
You know what a bowfish said?
I see it. I see it. It's the bow. It's got that big
arrow attached to a piece of rope.
It is. But if I'm shooting a bow at anything, I'm plowing them, man. That's how you deer hunt. It's got to pass.
You got to realize this.
Okay, here we go.
About bow fishing. Like you'll see one, you'll see something like a carp. We'll take a carp for example. What is it?
Pull that comment up by Facebook user right there. Danny in a boat with a bow. Pass. I reference back to breaking rods and hitting Ryan in the back. Listen, y'all get off my back.
He's about to shoot.
Now I will say this. I've actually been more accurate with a bow than I am a gun. Okay. I don't know if it's the strain on it.
Okay, that's what I was elaborating to. Do you know how deep to shoot a fish?
I would say you got to shoot it in 6 inches or up of the water column.
You can't shoot one like if it's like 5 feet below the surface. Your arrow is gonna go into the water. It's going whoosh, and it's gonna stop.
Oh yeah. No, I know.
They pretty much like if this is the surface of the water and the bow goes in, and when the arrow goes in, it immediately starts slowing down like really quick, and it don't get much more length than the arrow.
You know how I know that?
Yeah.
Growing up with a 22 round brim beds. Listen, that 22 bullet does not go deep. I got my ass whipped.
Facebook, Danny Pruitt.
Yeah, message me on Facebook. I did. One of the worst beatings I ever got was down there, and my dad keeps hearing this 22 go pow, 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 pow. And I'm just trying to slay brim. I was about 12 or 13 years old. Yeah. Hey, listen, Forsyth County boys, we didn't have no learnings back then. No, I'm ready for summertime spear fishing on the brush piles.
I know who that is.
Who is that? Who is that?
That's Richard Slanger.
Richard Slanger. Well,
you
Richard,
know who that is?
You know how I am. Everybody's bud to me. I don't know anybody by
there. He's a legend.
He's a legend.
Yeah. So you fish tacos at Richard Slanger's house.
We can do that. But I think bow fishing will be fun to try. Hell, I'll try anything once. We all know that. Carp tacos. Now let me tell you something though. And this is just
What's up, Chance to Fish?
Little public announcement. Do any of you guys eat drum? Do any of you guys that fish Chickamauga or anything like that, do you eat drum? And if so, how do you cook them?
Yeah, how do you cook them?
Because
you got to flash fry them.
Is that no, man? That's what that guy did.
Flash fry.
He stuck it in the for the TV show.
You said he stuck it in there and let it sit in there, and you're like, so what's this thing gonna taste like? He's like, I don't know. I've never cooked one of these before.
No, dude. So for the TV show, one of the episodes we're up on Chickamauga, and I'll just give you a quick rundown. He catches a drum, and we try to cook it. And I'm gonna tell you that is the nastiest, hardest, worst tasting fish I've ever put in my mouth. And I don't even know if we're supposed to be eating it. It ain't no red drum. What are them things in Chick? Just nasty. Just drum. He dropped it in the grease, and the thing shriveled up like some bologna on a hot skillet. You know how bologna, if you don't score it shrivels up? Well, you probably don't eat fried bologna, do you? Ryan, do you eat fried bologna?
I have ate it.
Ryan, that's not my question. Do you eat fried bologna?
I do not eat it currently. No.
Okay, all right. So there we go.
Fine, you win.
There we go. I win like that. Well, I ate it, but I just want to know if anybody, because I see all these comments, and Danny, y'all live up there that way. If you catch a drum, do you know how to cook it? And if you do, I'd love for you to put it in the comment section right there. Black drum is in Chick. So that's what it was. And I'm going to tell you right now, hell of a fight. One of the best fighting fish I've ever hooked into. But my goodness, rough on the eating. All right, so let's bring it back to fishing right now.
That's all we've been talking about.
Yeah, but I just got off. We talked bow fishing and we talked drum the last 10 minutes.
Fishing.
It is fishing. Well, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
I mean, what do you want? Where do you want to take this?
My heart goes out to the Van Dam family.
Oh Lord, here we go. Go ahead and cry.
I will.
Go ahead and cry. Camera's on
My
you.
idol has retired.
And how does
His
that make you
retire.
feel?
Huh?
Are you gonna cry like I did when Junior retired?
No. I'm not even gonna cry. Nah, it's Kevin Van Dam is one of the reasons why I like to fish the way I like to fish. Fast, physical, and wide open.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the best tournament fisherman to ever do it. I'm not saying he's the best fisherman before anybody gets their panties in wad, but he is the best tournament fisherman to ever play the game.
I will say this, Nathan, his trophy room is insane.
Yeah,
he is a legend, and he is over the past 20 years. How long has he been fishing? 30 years on the trail.
Mm-hmm.
I saw his video. We saw him down at ICAST. Just seems like a regular old dude, but apparently he is the man. But Kevin Van Dam is retiring. So let me ask you this.
No, not making.
Let me ask you this. Who is going to step up and fill his shoes? Who will be the next professional angler that will be the guy that Kevin Van Dam has been?
And probably somebody like Jacob Wheeler or somebody.
Okay.
If I had to guess. It's really, I don't know if you can fill his shoes.
You might be absolutely correct.
Well, I don't know if you can.
Well, who would be the next guy in line? Who's the next guy in line?
Probably Jacob Wheeler.
But do you think Jacob Wheeler will ever be? Because let me pose this. I put a TikTok out, and I said Bill Dance was the greatest angler of all time. And I said angler. And I know in the comment section, Bill Dance, guys that like Bill Dance, what do you do? Oh, what are you showing them right there?
Showing them your Facebook profile because he was like Danny Pruitt from Macon, Georgia.
Oh, Lord, no. I ain't no Flatlander.
That one right there. GRM bow fishing right there.
There you
That's
go.
him.
So great. So now my Facebook profile's all over TikTok.
Well, you're about to get a bunch of friends.
I am, and they're all going to be Scandinavian and blonde and stuff. My wife is going to be so mad.
All 4 of them.
Yeah. So anyway, so there you go. So Nathan says Wheeler. Casey Blanton says Wheeler. Farmer says Wheeler. But you're basically saying you don't think Wheeler can fill his shoes.
No,
Why is that?
I don't think so.
Why do you hold that opinion?
The competition nowadays is a lot more level.
So are we getting into the Michael Jordan, LeBron debate, stuff like that? Different eras of fishing. I guess that's what I'm saying. Different eras of fishing.
Yeah, that'd be a good way of putting it.
Okay, I mean,
what Van Dam achieved.
Griffin Price. I can't pronounce the guy's name. Pronounce that name.
Paul. That's Griffin Price. That's Brandon Polinick.
Polinick. Why's it got a U in it?
That's how you say his name, Brandon Polinick.
It ain't spelled that way.
Polinick.
It's got a U.
I know, Polinick.
I can't.
That's how he spells it. That's how
I know that's how he spells it.
He's from Idaho.
Well, that explains it.
He's from Rathdrum.
From where?
Rathdrum.
Okay, but so
Idaho.
Okay, well, but most of the guys are saying Wheeler.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite on the tour right now?
In the Elite Series?
In any of them?
The guy that I guess I probably pay more attention to than anything, I guess, is 2 of them. I kind of pay a lot more attention to Drew Benton and I like Brandon Lester.
Okay.
He's kind of a junk fisherman.
Right.
He can do a lot of different things.
Do you think G-Man? Okay, G-Man's got a great social media following and all that, but as far as tournament wins, I don't think you can compete with Van Dam in earnings.
G-Man don't have that many wins,
right?
Any at all.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's social media driven.
Yeah.
He's great at that.
Yeah, he's great with
He is absolutely. He's got that. Roland Martin and G-Man are the best of all time. Okay, well there you go. Michael Neal. KVD was. Let's see. All right, put up that Facebook user right there. That's a long one. KVD was about promoting fishing more so than himself. Wheeler is about promoting himself and his upcoming boat line. Fishing just happens to be a part of it. Wheeler is good, just not on the same level. Well, what are you laughing at?
You ready to block a comment from Richard Slinger?
Richard Sling. Look at Ken Burke. Shoot all balloons down, Danny.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, when them balloons get over my house, if it's low enough, I'll throw something up there at them like that. That's that guy, old Randy guy. That's the guy we fuss about all the time, makes some YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But now
he has some opinions.
He has some
He
very
is
strong
definitely
opinions.
opinionated.
What KVD has done on and off the water is unprecedented.
Dude, he's the only fisherman to ever win ESPN's Outdoorsman of the Year. Like they made up a freaking thing for him in 2004 or whatever, or 2002.
I didn't even know that award existed.
Right, exactly. That's my point.
Do they still have it on the ESPYs and stuff like that?
Shit, I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Kevin Van Dam won. He has an interview on ESPN. Who else has been interviewed on ESPN about bass fishing?
I couldn't give you that.
Right,
You're right.
point proven.
So what you're saying is he transcended into, he brought fishing into the.
He is just.
Is that because of his dominance?
Yeah.
It's just like ESPN sitting back going, this
in
guy's
his prime.
Yeah.
He was there.
He's not that old though.
He's 58 or whatever.
Right.
But in his prime, back when he was in his late 30s into his 40s, dude, he was there for one reason at these events and one reason only, and that was to step on your throat.
So he's the Tiger Woods of bass fishing.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good comparison.
That's a good way of doing it. Tiger Woods is the only reason I watch golf, and if he ain't involved, I'm like, no, change that.
No, that is true. That is true. That is true. Especially if it was the Masters.
I always wait for him to cuss. Tiger.
Yeah. When he drives,
he says, Tiger.
He did.
There's no 3-wood out there, and all you hear is whoosh. You know that 3-wood sound.
I know that sound like that.
And he's like, and all you see is a ball going through the screen, like, and you're like, and he's over there, God, Tiger.
Yeah.
And then it lands in the trees.
You know what though? And this is the one thing about golf that amazes me, and it doesn't happen on live, that they don't kill people when they drive. Them people, they got like 10 foot to drive that ball through. I'm amazed that some of them just don't absolutely kill people within the first 30 yards.
They're professionals.
I would kill the whole time.
I would too.
Like you're
I'd be like, y'all stand back.
Yeah, like Danny's shooting a bow, and he's trying to skip a Ned rig under a dock. You just need to stay back on that side.
Stay
right
out
there.
of the way.
Good question though, posed by Nathan though. Why is he retiring now? Why now? And Rick Clunn's going to die on the water.
Yes.
But he didn't have a good day. He didn't have a good day today. He might be the GOAT though. Knock on Duty Adventures. Not. I'm sorry.
Like Ott.
What does that say? Ott is another that always has his name in the winner's circle. You know, but you know what? Fishing is kind of like NASCAR. Like there's a lot of guys that win that there's just something about them that I can't get behind.
My hero is, what's his name, who passed Denny Hamlin last year at Martinsville.
Anybody that passes Denny Hamlin is
But when he went,
Mr. Ross, that guy's got the most perfect set of teeth when he smiles. And is he the one that throws the watermelons down when he wins? I think he's a watermelon farmer.
Maybe, I don't know.
But that was the ballsiest move I've ever seen in NASCAR. Let's just pin it against the wall.
Let's just pin it against the wall.
See what the hell happens. Let's see what the hell happens.
It worked out for him.
It worked out, but I think they said they couldn't do that no more.
Why?
It's kind of dangerous.
To hell with NASCAR.
I want to say that if any of you guys watch NASCAR, and I think they said you couldn't do that move.
That's like watching that California thing last week. I was like,
well,
there they go. 90 miles an hour.
They couldn't even fill out the stands.
No, exactly.
So let's see. So let's get back into the comments. So KVD is Jordan and Wheeler is LeBron. Very interesting. Very interesting. I still don't think LeBron would make it in Jordan's era. Just because you can't cast without hitting someone doesn't mean they can't drive a ball straight. Well, in my case, I can't. Too much of a baseball swing.
What Ken Burke said, I think that's one of the reasons why Van Dam has chose to retire.
Is he going to go into the showbiz part of it?
I mean, how much money? Somebody had to have contract, probably with Bass Pro and Johnny Morris or something. Dude, they had to have been like, you've won X amount of dollars in your career. We will double it if you do a TV show.
Yeah, but let me ask you this: do you think it'll be a standalone TV show, or do you think you'll be like announcing on some of these tournaments and stuff, like be the guest announcer?
They might get him to announce some.
Would you like it if KVD was a guest announcer on some of these tournaments?
Yeah, I would watch. I would pay more attention to the commentary than I do anything.
Right. Casey Blanton, I like your comment right there, definitely. Brian, I'll read that. Any pro angler that uses his camera to give glory to God or spread the gospel are the real goats. I like that one right there, absolutely. Ott Defoe has personality, but I don't know if he's got that killer instinct, kind of like the Tiger Woods. Brian says on the NASCAR stuff, they outlawed it. They did. Pull up Steve's right there. I love reading these comments tonight. More money's been made off KVD than he's actually made. Maybe tired of competing for a smaller piece of the pie. That's kind of an interesting comment.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of
a very, very good point.
That
Steve
is.
Kingston.
Don't forget about Jimmy Houston. I assume that's who he's talking about right there. Yeah, listen, all those greats that we grew up with like that, they all could do it. And just think about the boats and the equipment that they used back in the day. Definitely not what these guys have now. New formats and rules will prevent another KVD level fisherman. The days of buying helicopter time to do pre-fishing flyovers are hopefully done.
Dude, you can't say that because back when that stuff was going on, they were all doing it. And if you're a fool if you think that they weren't all doing it, you are a fool if you don't think they were all trying to get as much information as they could.
Well, yeah, they can. Okay, so I guess so guys flew over lakes with helicopters.
He ain't the only one.
No, I'm just saying they did it. That was one. Well, they didn't have, they didn't have all the stuff that we have today like that. So, yeah, but if you're going to,
no disrespect, I'm just saying, I'm just saying it like it is. Not on duty adventures.
Here's a good question.
They all find some form or fashion of whatever at that. When you're fishing for $125,000,
right? You're going to do whatever.
You're going to do whatever you can to bend the rules as much as you possibly can.
I understand that.
And we're all guilty of it as well.
Facebook user had a good comment right there. What's y'all's favorite lake besides Lanier and why? That's easy for me. I can answer that, and it's not a big opponent. No, Latham.
Oh, Latham.
I fish a lot of electric reservoirs, and it's in my front yard, of course, like that. But it fishes like a small Lake Lanier. You can go over to Latham if you want to bank fish. You can bank fish. If you want to fish 40 foot off a point and stuff like that, you can fish 40 foot off a point. It's got spots. It's got largemouth. It's got bluebacks. The lake actually puts the redfin in there, but it's well run. It's a beautiful, clean water lake. But if you like throwing in the junk, it's got the timber, like standing timber. If you're, you can go catch however you want to fish, and however you fish Lake Lanier. If you get a chance to get in a kayak or an electric only boat, Latham Reservoir is my favorite lake. What's yours?
I like Hartwell pretty good.
Yeah, you talk about Hartwell a lot. Why do you like Hartwell?
Largemouth.
Because it's largemouth lake.
Yeah.
It's okay. Well, okay.
I can catch them better on Hartwell throughout the year, better than I can on Lanier on the way out.
More set up for power fishing and stuff like that.
Well, there's just more largemouth.
I got you. Okay, then there's your reason why. I like Nathan. Imagine retiring from fishing.
Yeah,
but I bet you it's more business related.
He said in his video he's retiring from tour.
Yeah, from tour.
Yeah,
which is why.
And you better believe he's still going to fish some events here and there.
Which is why I allude to the fact that I think he's going to be doing a TV show of some sort.
Well, let me ask you this: on if you don't fish on those series, they don't have like exceptions for like some NASCAR events, like you're grandfathered into them. Does that happen any on professional level anywhere? Like, can he just show up and say, "Hey, I'm going to fish this event," or is that outlawed in the professional game, or do you know?
I don't know how to answer that question.
I don't either. I don't know.
I will refrain from commenting on that question.
Refrain from commenting. Let's see if we got any more questions up there in the comment section.
Derek, it is a brutal travel schedule.
Probably more. Okay. And what a lot now.
They don't travel as hard nowadays as everybody thinks they do.
Not on that level.
They hire somebody to drive their truck and boat to wherever the hell they're going, and then they go jump on a plane the day before practice starts and fly down.
Yeah, which is different.
which
than
is a
back
lot
in the day.
different. Back in the day, you used to go cross country, all the time. The next tournament's in California. The next tournament after that's in Minnesota. The next tournament after that's in New York.
Yeah, yeah, I got that. Pull up Knott's next comment right there. Not on duty adventures right there. It's still the politics of fishing. The names were able to afford those perks, and being the go-to guy for KVD got you some street cred.
Yeah.
So you know what? I think that plays into some guides.
Cool.
Don't you think that?
Yeah.
It plays into some guides that they want to announce, and I ain't calling out any particular guide. I'm not saying that anybody does this here. I'm not saying they don't do it. But I think some guides have, in the past, probably puffed up their personal resume a little bit because they helped Angler X, and they might have done it when it was, when it was legal, or I don't know how the rules go like that, but we know that probably happens. Don't you think?
Matt Reed is the perfect example of that because he was a guide on Falcon, and he still is a guide on Falcon. He retired from professional fishing several years ago to just go back to guiding on Falcon in Texas. And there's a little snippet on Pro Patterns Exposed, if you have the DVD series, where he talks about guys calling him all the time that are back home on Falcon, asking him what's going on. He's like, I don't know. I ain't there right now. I'm on Pickwick right now.
Gotcha.
And it was eating into his finances.
Okay.
Because he couldn't guide.
All right. So David answered my question. No, you have to qualify. So there is no grandfather rule in any of the professional ranks and stuff like that. So in the upcoming tournaments, the BFL, the NOE, and so on, what is your winning weight prediction?
BFL on there is going to take over 20.
Let's get specific. I'm gonna write it down so we can keep up with it.
Okay.
Just to see. So I'm gonna say it's gonna take 22.48 pounds.
Good God.
I'm going with a big bag.
Okay.
So that's mine. This is for the BFL on there. What is yours?
I think it'll be just over 20.
20 what? You gotta give me some
20. Well, BFL does by ounces. So 20 pounds, 11 ounces.
20 pounds, 11 ounces. All right. So then I'll change mine to 22 pounds, and we'll go 6 ounces.
Okay.
6 ounces. 6.22. Yeah, 6 ounces. That's what I'll go with. All right. So NOE is a 2-day.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I want to say it was in the 20s. It was in the 20s.
It was in the upper 20s.
Upper 20s.
It was like 28, something like that.
Okay.
One over 2 days.
So I'm going to go.
I can't remember exactly what it was.
Given the weather, given that, what's the water conditions on Allatoona? Is it muddy? It might not matter. I'm going to go 2-day total of 27 pounds, 5 ounces. What's yours? And you guys can keep up. We're going to see how close. So that guy said 26. Hightower NOE 24.4. Lanier 22.25. So what's your prediction for the NOE 2-day event? Ryan?
I'm thinking. I'm going to think.
I'll jump in.
29,
jump in there, Paul.
29
Yeah, wait a second. Hold on a second.
Go
Paul, you get it. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't include you. You got to jump in there.
Tuna's been balling lately. I'm going to say
2 days.
31.
Woo!
31.5.
31.5.
I'm along the lines with Paul. I was going to say, I'm going to go lower than that, though. I'm going to say 29.8.
29.8. Paul,
I think it's going to take nearly 15 pounds a day now to win on.
Okay.
For right now, with the guys that are fishing.
Paul, we didn't give you an opportunity to chime in on the BFL. You got to wait on that 1-day tournament.
I'll be honest. I was thinking 22 plus like you. I'll go 21.6.
And I tell you what, you guys, hey, in your comments, let's do this. I'm going to throw this out there.
We're not going to the NOE Expo.
No, we're not going to do NOE this year. Nothing against NOE, and then we're just not set up. We talked about that.
Yeah, we're not set up.
Let's do this. Oh, we didn't do a co-angler on the co-angler side on the BFL.
I like Nathan's point.
What is it?
15 co-side.
Okay, so what do you want on the co-side, Ryan?
I'm going to say it's going to take the co-angler. It's going to take about 16 pounds.
Okay, 16 even?
I'll say 16.4.
Okay, I'm gonna actually jump up on this, and I'm gonna go say 17.6. Paul, co-angler side, BFL.
Mr. Danny.
I like that.
Um,
Damn, I'm not that old, kid.
what did Ryan go with?
Ryan went with 16.4,
And you went with?
17.6.
I'm gonna go a little low on that one. I'll go maybe like 15.3.
15.3. Now, hey, I tell you what, you guys in the comment section, some of you have put your weights down already, but let's have a contest. You got to do 4 weights. You got to do on the BFL on Lanier, you got to do a boater, and you got to do a co-angler. On the Noe Outdoors, a 2-day tournament, but you only have 1 weight. And then we're gonna do the elite here. The guy that has the closest average will average it out. In the comment section, starting right now, the winner, I'll send you one of LJ's Magic Swimmers.
Okay.
I'll give a Magic Swimmer, but you got to go back and in the comment section, you got to put all 4 weights.
We'll make a post. We'll make a post on the group page.
We'll put this up on Facebook tomorrow morning.
On the group. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do that.
I like what Paul's doing with that. Yeah.
Fish North Georgia Facebook group. Look for it around 7 a.m. We'll get it up there. Get your guesses in.
Damn, who gets up at 7 a.m.?
A lot of people do.
There's a scheduled post button on there.
Paul's going to take care of it.
Said he's gonna do it.
Thank you, Paul. Okay, good, because I'm like, I'll be lucky.
So get your guess in. 2-day total for Noe.
Yep.
And your 1-day totals for BFL Lanier. Both
Co-angler
the
and
angler
angler
side and the co-angler.
All right, now let's jump to the elite. So 28 pounds won today. Okay, so 4-day total on the elites. 4-day total on the elite.
96 pounds, 13 ounces.
96 pounds, 13 ounces. Okay,
I don't think we're going to break a century.
I'm going to go higher. I'm going to jump for the century mark.
Okay.
I'm going to say 101 pounds and 2 ounces. All right, so what you got going on there, Paul?
What's leading it today?
28 was first. Let's see. So
Schultz bags in the 20s.
Yeah,
15s,
so that would be like about 112,
I said,
113.
the top 10 went 28, and 10th place was 21.
Okay.
So what do you got there, Paul, for 4-day total? He's doing math. That's what he's doing. He's over doing math. While Paul,
hell, give me 99.
Ooh.
9.
99. 9 ounces, 99 pounds.
All nines.
All right. Is there
We're ringing the slot machine.
Yeah.
Oh, so Felicia Arnold drives by our building at 7. And you know what, Felicia? I bet you don't see the lights on too often when you do it as well.
900.
So we'll do that tomorrow again. Is there a high school tournament on there? I don't know.
I would doubt it.
I don't know.
If they did, whoever set the high school tournament up is a fool.
Okay, there you go. So let's do this. Let's end it on that. We pretty much covered everything. Let's end it on this, guys. Go on the Facebook group page in the morning, Fish North Georgia.
You guys too on
we
TikTok.
will have TikTok. Yeah, go to Fish North Georgia, the group. We have 2 pages. We got Fish North Georgia, and then we got Fish North Georgia, the group page. So if you go to the group page, we're going to lay out all these, and the winner is going to get LJ's Magic Swimmer, and I'll ship it wherever you are in the United States. So let's wrap it up for tonight. First of all, I want to thank Ryan and Paul for all the work they do coming in here, especially Paul.
I'll tell you what, we got working Wi-Fi here. I'll get that post up right now. Just
go
immediately post show. Guys, look for it here in the next 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, we can do that. I don't know why in the hell we're doing that because we're in a little bit early. That's a good idea, Paul. But again, I want to thank you guys for spending some time with us this Thursday night talking about fishing and everything. Again, back TikTok. Hey, we appreciate you guys as well, your support and all of this. Make sure you go to all the social media. All right, we're going to start off again. TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Facebook and the Fish North Georgia group page there. YouTube, again, if you're watching, make sure you like and subscribe. Instagram, Twitter. Am I missing anything? If you're into the one-on-one, make sure you go check out our Patreon. Ryan gives a lot of great information on there. Be a subscriber right there. Help support us. Am I missing anything, guys? As I wrap this show up, I think I got it all.
Y'all have fun.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if you are fishing this weekend, if you're not fishing, go check out the Noe Outdoors over there in Cartersville. Starts tomorrow, goes through Sunday. Go check that out. See all the great local vendors. And if you are fishing, please be careful. You know, I don't want to see anything on the group page about boaters being rude and stuff like that. Mind your P's and Q's out there and be respectful of your other anglers. All you guys in the comment section, hey, we can't do this show without you. We love you. We appreciate it. You make the day go so much better in the show like that.
Thanks,
so
Danny.
we appreciate all that. And to the guy that called me Mr. Danny, hey, appreciate the respect, but I ain't that old, man. I ain't that old. But anyway, you guys have a great weekend. Tuesday, Ryan and I will be on Lanier doing the live fishing. I'm going to make him do some different stuff. You watch this. We're going to have a little bit of a twist to that. He don't think so, but he's going to. Check us out there. And if not, hey, we'll see you on Thursday at the next. What are we doing next week? Who we got on?
Nobody yet.
Nobody yet.
I know we got.
We'll see if Rob's feeling better.
Rob, we'll check
And
in Rob back out here.
We'll go and do what we were wanting to do initially tonight.
Okay, we'll do that. So,
There we
guys,
go.
you guys have a great weekend. Be blessed. Be safe. We'll see you.